Hey everybody, welcome to the Morphin Grid. I'm Josh. We're going with it. It's going out that way. This is episode 58, football
season. I hope you guys like foosball because there's plenty of it.
The whole season.
In this one episode. It aired on May 9th, 1994. That intro was me just jumping on Josh saying because you had enough of a pause to where I figured I could probably get on it. If you do hear, what we do is we pause it and then we go watch it and then we come back and we talk about it. Is that it? All right, I'm just going to keep that. Guys, all right, cards on the table. We're both a little tired. We had a long night. There's a wrestling show. I'm still tired from it. It's also Monday, which is a bad idea to record on, but we have to because Josh is leaving this week. Or the end of this week. So we can't record one episode next week. So we got to do 3 this week. And unfortunately, that means we got to record on Mondays, which last time we recorded on Mondays, any indication, this can go one of 2 ways. We're just going to jump right into it. We're going to go watch the episode. You can watch along if you have Netflix, if you have the DVDs, if you have a cursory knowledge of how to Google Power Rangers football season.
Or the old VHS.
Or
I'm sure football season is on one somewhere.
Did they do VHSs of this U2 stuff? I don't know if they might have.
They might have. I don't know.
I had like 3 or 4 of them. They were like the one Ranger that had an episode about them, and then another episode.
Right.
And then I had the Alpha's Magical Christmas. I had I'm Dreaming of a White Ranger.
Yep.
Which is one of my favorite episodes, and then I had one where the one with Primator, where it's in season 2. Alpha goes to Earth to like save a kid, and then is dying, and then Primator pretends to be Billy. Why this giant ape monster has shape-shifting powers, I don't remember. We'll get there eventually, though.
I forgot about him.
But for now, we're going to just jump right into it. We're going to go watch it, because it's
Morphin time!
And we're back. That episode did not help.
No.
Spoilers. It's not very good. TM.
TM that.
No, it's someone else's trademark. So I'm just putting a TM on it so they know that it's, I think, Chris Sims does it on Twitter. It's all in capitals. Whenever something's not very good, it's not very good TM. Morphingrid.tumblr.com is our website. I don't know the state of it. I'm not going to lie to you guys.
Not updated.
You guys. It's not updated. It might be by now, but I've said that several times in the past 2 weeks, and I haven't updated it. So
last time you're like, I know it will be by the next episode.
I looked you guys in the ears, and I lied to you. If you want to email us, you can do that at littleidiots.morphingrid@gmail.com. We're on Twitter at morphingrid. We're on Facebook. Just search the Morphin Grid. You'll find us. Or you won't, and then tell us. Tell us on Twitter if you don't find us.
Well, I'll just tweet you a link.
And then, is that last one? iTunes. Leave us a review. Don't review this episode. Don't base this episode on the review that you give us. Because
You said that backwards.
Did I?
You said don't base this episode on the review that you give us. Don't base the review that you give us on this episode is what you meant.
That is absolutely what I meant. It was not what I said. This episode took a little bit more out of me than I was expecting it to. All I remembered of football season before we watched this was the very end. I'm not going to say what it is because it's kind of a spoiler, but that thing that you're like, why is X so large?
Because he's afraid of Y.
That's all. That was dumb. That's all I remember. So, anything else? Anything to report? You want to jump into this? You want to get this train wreck rolling?
Let's start.
All right,
doing this.
All right, guys, we can do this in under 45 minutes. I believe in us. As the episode suggested, it's football season. Jason is hype about it. Tommy's not so hyped. Tommy's nervous. Jason throws him a football. mimes throwing him a football.
Yep.
He has a football. Jason comes in with a football. I don't know if he leaves with a football. But he's like...
He does not leave with it.
Right. Get there in a second. So, he's like, yeah, man, you excited for tryouts? And Tommy's like, I never really played before. And he's like, you just gotta come at it with the intensity of your karate. I'm not... Okay, the entire episode hinges on the fact that Tommy doesn't get football because he gets karate too well.
Yeah.
So... I understand him being nervous about football. Number one, why are any of them trying out for the football team? They are busy all the time with a million after-school activities and also saving the planet.
Football.
And now football.
How are they going to go to college without football, Jake?
Go to a film school. They'll take go to Full Sail. They'll literally take anybody. I don't think a single person in the history of that institution has been turned away, judging by some of the people I matriculated with. So Bulk comes out. Skull has a literal sack of potatoes.
Yep.
And he is running with it in front of Bulk. What is...
Like side by side.
Are they side by side?
At first, yeah.
What is this like a carrot on a stick, but it's just a bag of potatoes? Why is this motivational? Why is this bag of potatoes motivational?
I can't answer that question.
Okay, also... If we're going to be upfront, I know bubkiss about football.
I know enough.
You know a lot more than I do on the scale. I don't know how high up the scale you are, but I'm a 0.3. I know that they have a football. Don't know why it's called football, because it's not shaped like a ball, and you're not allowed to touch it with your feet, except for that one guy.
The kicker.
The kicker. Why is it called football? The whole sport's a mess. Also, I know that the Seahawks have a cool logo, and that the Patriots are from an indeterminate location in New England. You ever play the Mutant Football League?
Oh yeah,
that's what Bulk is, right? That's what Bulk is right now.
Yes.
When he runs out, he is a Mutant Football Leaguer.
Yes.
I don't know the exact series of events because I was already done with this episode by the time this happened. But Skull runs ahead of Bulk. Bulk has a football.
Bulk, I'm sure, is just telling Tommy, like, you better be worried because you're crap and I'm the best at football.
You're a poop monster and I'm football man. He ends up tackling Mr. Kaplan.
That's what the sack of potatoes is for. It's like it's supposed to be one of those big things that they tackle in practice because Skull runs ahead and holds it. Like, Bulk's gonna come tackle it.
And then Mr. Kaplan steps in the way and gets a body full of Bulk. But here's the thing. He steps in the way and then turns and sees Bulk as Bulk's coming at him. Yep. And doesn't make an attempt to move. Bulk is not a small guy.
No.
So I don't know why Mr. Kaplan was like, I'll be fine. Because he wasn't. He got tackled hard. And then, this is probably, I don't know, I don't want to say the weirdest thing, but the most confusing thing to me, and I think it can be explained with nobody on the writing staff rewatches the episodes, right? Mr. Kaplan gives them a week of detention.
Yes.
Don't they already have infinity detention?
Yep.
What kind of punishment is detention anymore? Because they're already going there. You can't give them more than forever.
What else can you do to a kid in school, though?
I don't know.
Besides expel them. He did just tackle the principal.
He did full-on tackle the principal.
And, I don't know if you noticed this, when they're like on the stairs, there's a chomping noise. Like a sound effect.
Yeah.
And then Bulk like moves, and he pulls Kaplan's toupee off with his mouth.
Why? Why did you do that,
Because
Bulk?
Kaplan losing his hair is the joke.
Because Bulk, they don't get anything on their faces. So the only obvious other joke,
Kaplan's hair falls off.
Kaplan loses his hair. So then we go back over to Tommy, and he's like, even Bulk is better than me at this.
This display of Bulk being awful worried Tommy because that was better than Tommy is at football.
This is exactly the same thing as the Island of Illusion where Bulk was terrible at dancing, and Zach's like, I'm going to lose because of that. What did the Power Rangers have some weird self-confidence issues?
They do.
It's not regular self-confidence issues. It's very weird. That person's terrible, so I must be also. I don't know. Jump up to the moon. Squat and Babu are watching through the spyglass. They're watching this whole thing play out, and they're like, touchdown, woo, yeah. Rita is like, I hate this game. They're not playing it yet. She doesn't know what football is yet, because she hasn't seen it. And then Goldar's like, we'll put the putties with the Rhino Blaster and your team will be unstoppable. And she's like, yeah, I want to smash down. And they're like, touchdown. She's like, whatever. And then we go back down to Earth. It just shows
when she's like, oh, whatever it's called. It's a close-up of her hand smacking the banister of her spaceport.
Go back down to Earth, where we're at the juice bar.
This episode is real weird.
It's real weird. We go back down to Earth. We're going to do What Was Kimberly Wearing Part 1. She's got pink t-shirt, a vest, jean shorts, and those leather shoes that are sort of sneakers but maybe not on. She also has her hair in a scrunchie, but only a little bit of her hair and really high up.
Yep.
It's very 90s. I don't think I've seen this since. I think this died in the 90s. They're trying to give Tommy some words of encouragement because he's like, I'm the terriblest of football. He's like, I spent too much time on karate. And Trini is the only person who is, like, I guess paying attention to the subtext here.
Right.
And she's like, that's a pretty big achievement. You being basically the best in karate is good enough. You don't have to play football. Which I think this is a weird metatextual thing. Right, because, like, especially, like, if you're watching Power Rangers, they're like, we're going to get everybody. Everyone's going to love Power Rangers. But, like, especially kids who are going to be inside watching TV at 4 o'clock, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't think this is their intention. But to me, it came across as, like, you don't have to like football to be an okay person, you know?
Yeah,
like,
that's good, because I don't.
Yeah, I don't like football, and, like, you catch crap for it pretty much to this day, but now I'm just really good at destroying football to a point where people can't argue it back.
You learned just enough. So you can tear it down.
To crush people. Just enough to be dangerous with. And, so I don't know. I kind of like that. Because Trini's like, that's a good accomplishment.
Yeah, you're doing fine. Yeah.
And so they're like, we're gonna go play.
Also, your powers are limited, so maybe you shouldn't play football.
Well, that doesn't affect football. He gets tackled once, and it knocks the power right out of him.
The green just flies out of him. He has to wear gray clothes from now on.
Oh, that'd be sad, and also pretty neat. Ernie played college football. He was a fullback.
He was an all-star fullback.
All-star fullback. What is a fullback?
Fullback is one of the guys that runs the ball.
Ernie ran the ball.
Yep. They're usually little quick guys, which I think is the joke here.
That's either the joke or, like, he used to be real good.
Yeah.
Because this bigger dude. Or he would run it, and instead of being super quick and dodging, he would just plow through people.
Fullbacks might be hossier. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of a halfback.
The halfback is the half of a fullback, so right. You have to be smaller guy, half the size of your fullback. So the bigger your fullback, the bigger your halfback can be.
All I know about football is what I've played in video games. So.
I can't get my fingers to control any sports game that isn't wrestling. I just don't understand. They don't link up in my brain. There's a bunch of charts and plays and terms that I just don't understand. So I was like, what's the point? Bulk comes in. This is really weird thing number 2. If you keep a running tally, you're gonna fill up a notebook paper. But he's wearing a ballet outfit.
Mm-hmm.
He's got pink sheer tights, ballet shoes, a tutu, and then like a thermal and gloves on because he's still punk. Skull calls it ballot because he's like, players studied ballot to be quicker on their feet or something.
Ballot.
I'd like to believe that Skull just made it this far with only reading the word. You know, this is his caveat. This is his Chevalion. But maybe he is a little slow.
Not outside the realm of possibility.
I mean, I get the joke. Ooh, these guys they're dumb. They're mean, so they're dumb.
Right.
But then they're very dumb for 16 to 26-year-olds. I don't know how old they're supposed to be. Up to 48, possibly. Not Tommy. Kimberly and Trini are like, we're going to go play flag football with the guys in the park. You want to go? And he's like, no, I'm going to get some pointers from Ernie. Instead of going to, like, practice playing football, he's going to stay and do drills about football.
With an all-star fullback.
With an all-star fullback. So I can see it. Also, I don't think they're playing flag football correctly.
Here's what I got from watching this. They're all on the same and opposite teams.
Yes. It started off because
there's 5 of them, first of all.
Yeah, there's 5 of them. Before we go to the actual flag football game, there is a little bit of a training scene between Tommy and Ernie where Tommy can't stop karateing. And they're doing like
it like smash cuts to him doing 1,000,000 push-ups real quick.
Yeah. And then he jumps up and he yas getting up. And then he's like, all right, so to work on your agility, because, Tommy needs to work on his agility. This dude could literally run across the tops of the heads of his opponents and get into the end zone. I don't think he has anything to worry about, but they're like, all right, 3 steps one way, 2 back, then 3 the same way, and then 2 back, And he's like, get it? He's like, yeah. So he starts doing it, and then he just, like, his feet get out of control for a second, and he jumps into a karate pose. Like he's gonna attack. And he even yells, because he just can't stop karate.
And then immediately after, he's like, yeah! Man.
Oh, man. This will come up again in a second. Then we go to the park for the flag football game, where they are wearing, their flags are their colors.
They're all different colors.
How did nobody catch on that these were the Power Rangers? Except for Ernie. It should have been like an open secret in town, right? And like only Bulk and Skull didn't know. But you know, you got to suspend your disbelief somewhere, and I guess this is here. So there's this R&B song going on over it. It sounds like a Public Enemy song if Public Enemy was the Wiggles. Because it's a really inoffensive song, but it's sort of...
I don't even remember the words. I think they talk about having good energy.
Having good energy, fun, maybe. Maybe I'm just reliving last night. I don't know. I will try to find it, and I will put it on the Tumblr if and when that gets updated. So yeah, there are no rules, but you can tell the actors are having fun.
Yeah,
which is the important part for me.
Because like they're running around, right? And this is the point where it's like there's no rules. They're just playing football. Huge cartoon air quotes. Because Jason might be the quarterback. Yes, because Trini says hike and then throws it to Jason.
They split into 2 teams of primary colors and non-primary colors.
Yep.
And then it just all goes to heck. It all gets all piggly wiggly from there.
And then I think Jason's going to throw it, but Zach grabs it out of his hand, starts running the other way. And then Billy comes up around Zach, grabs it out of Zach's hand, and then throws it to Jason.
You can't throw it forward.
Only the quarterback can do that.
None of them should make the team then. Right?
No, unless they're just goofing around.
Maybe.
Unless they're just like stretching out their arm, getting a good like warm up.
Getting a good sweat in, because I don't know when. Because
I assume the tryouts are today sometime.
I don't think they're today. I think they're soon.
Or they already had them.
But then why is
no,
Tommy
because Tommy's training now.
afterwards?
There's some time.
Speaking of Tommy training, we jump back to him training, where they have, I don't know what they're called. It's like a post, and you tackle it, I guess.
It's a football dummy.
Football dummy, sure.
I don't know if
And
that's accurate.
So he's like, you just gotta tackle it, push it. So what's Tommy do?
Kicks it in the face.
Jump kicks the throat out of this thing. That is an immediate suspension, I think.
Can you get
imagine?
DQ'd. You lose the game by DQ.
Can you can you imagine if you're watching football and one of the sports characters just jump kicks another one in the face?
First of all, they have cleats on.
But they have like masks, so
right,
they're
but like there's a foot-sized hole where your eyes are.
Well, he hit him about in around the throat, so maybe the
you could still get in there.
The grill would have caught it if
right.
they're. But like, let's say Tebow just jump kicks Brady. The thing that can happen.
I don't know if Tebow plays anymore.
I don't know. Those are literally.
Those are the only two guys that I know right now.
The Mannings, Peyton and younger Manning.
Eli.
That's the one. And then something Jacoby, who ran like 100-yard touchdown in the Super Bowl a couple years ago, and it's the only thing I saw of the Super Bowl. And this concludes my knowledge of recent football events. So then Tommy tackles it. We haven't got away, but he's like, try not to jump kick it this time. Do it again, but don't jump kick it. So he spears it, and it's
still like in the throat.
Still in the throat, and this is like a wrestling takedown spear, not a tackle spear.
Right.
Like this is like if Dolph Ziggler did a spear.
Yeah, because he lawn darts himself into this thing.
Exactly. He javelins himself into the throat of this poor dummy. And then he just bounces back and lands on his back somehow. So he's sprung backwards. I guess he's just too bad at football. He should just quit. Take the loss, Tommy. So then we cut to detention, where Bulk is still in a ballet outfit and he's walking around in circles with a book on his head around the desk while Skull.
That's legitimate too. Bulk is balancing an actual book on his actual head while he does this.
That's impressive, yeah. And Skull is his trainer, I guess. For a reason, I'm sure.
Because they're best buddies.
Yeah, right. He's
Bulk's not going to ask anybody
else. There's
else.
a book that says how to football, and Skull is reading it and just internalizing it and then spitting it back out to Bulk. And so then we get a wacky montage of Bulk doing a lot of ballet stuff.
He gets really good at it.
He does. It takes this is a solid 3-minute montage though.
I don't know if it's actually that long, but it sure felt it.
It felt like it might have been 45, 50 minutes, but it might have been a minute, but that's a long time to just have them doing wacky fast motion Pilates.
Yeah.
I meant to say pirouettes, but I said Pilates.
That's fine. It's going out that way.
It's going out that way. One take, Jake. There's still going to be a lot of edits. Don't think this is unedited.
Right, we're just not retaking anything.
Yeah.
We're still cutting stuff out.
Yeah. So we go back to the Rangers playing football. Jason grabs... Billy's running for the end zone, which is just one of the directions that they're playing in.
And then Jason grabs his flag. They were just on the same team a second ago.
I guess it's
so it's a one-on-one football fight.
Every football match. Everybody for himself, flag football, him or herself. He grabs the flag and spikes it, and then does
he does a touchdown dance on it.
Touchdown dance. I was hoping he would do some Ric Flair style and profiling.
Elbow drop it.
Elbow drop. Oh, that'd be great. That would be so good. So, Goldar sends the putties for a warm-up match. That's a real thing. There's going to be a football match later between putties and the Power Rangers.
That's a weird thing.
Yeah. But this putty fight is actually really cool.
It is.
Did Trini do anything? I remember Billy, I remember Jason, I remember Kimberly, I remember Zach.
I think she might have done an arm flip and a quick kick or something. It was not as impressive as Zach murder spin kicking like 7 putties.
He did like first of all he came out the gate spin kicking.
Cuts to him, he does a flip over one, but like a very aggressive flip.
Yeah, he was like, everyone thinks Tommy's the best. Oh, we will see. He does like a jumping spin kick that misses, and then like immediately goes into a leg sweep, which is something we've seen Tommy do before.
Yeah.
Then the next thing I can remember is him doing like a 540 horizontal roll into a corkscrew into a kick to the back, where he probably broke the spine of the actor in the suit.
One time, I want a cool move like that to disintegrate a putty.
Yeah,
there'll just be a pile of putty left where that guy
was. Hit him so hard that he breaks down to his core elements. It was nuts. Billy also was doing a lot of flips.
Yeah, he starts out just back handspringing away from the putties.
Kimberly does like a backflip. Not a back handspring, just like a straight up backflip into a couple kicks. Jason, the only thing I remember him doing is fireman carrying one.
He has one on his shoulder and he just runs
and then he
through
just
the
Death
rest
Valley
of them.
drivers it while Billy is running for a touchdown. Because at some point Billy gets the football and he's still playing the game even though there's putties attacking you, Billy.
Billy scored a touchdown.
It was so goofy. So then we go back up to the moon and they say something about how Rhino Blaster is going to be the quarterback, which doesn't make any sense because he's a rhino. He should be the guy doing the tackling, right?
Yes.
That makes sense. Instead, also, Rhino Blaster is mostly a bat.
He's a bat with his head squished in.
He's like a
and a big horn.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a rhino, but mostly a bat. He's like a Krogan from Mass Effect, if you're familiar with that game. But if they had giant bat ears and a rhino nose, because they just have like no necks and their whole front kind of slopes upwards, or their whole back just slopes up to the top of their head.
Right.
So then they go back to the command center, and they're like, Zordon's being weird. He's like, Rita will challenge you to a football game. The fate of Angel Grove rests in...
And if you lose, her dark powers will overtake Angel Grove.
Will be unleashed.
If you can't beat her putties at a football game.
What? What? Who? Why?
This was them in Japan. Going like, oh, they don't care what they get?
Yeah, they just ordered footage. Oh, we'll give them
I have
footage.
an idea. It can only work with no story.
What is a really American thing? And then one of the Japanese guys on the staff was like, football. And they're like, bingo. Give them the weirdest out of context football fights you can. And they did. They nailed it if that was their intent. So they teleport down and there is like 1 million football puns right in a row.
Yeah, because they do a Ranger roll call.
Yeah, for the
where
first
they
time.
all throw out a pun.
Yeah, this is the first time they've done the roll call in like 40 episodes. It's been a long time. But yeah, they all throw out a pun.
But they had enough puns this time. They were like, oh yeah,
yes,
we're doing it.
We're doing this. And then they fight, and they scrimmage. I guess they have a scrimmage against each other.
The putties have numbers, right? All of them except for one.
Except for one.
And it's 10, 20, 30, and 50. Out of order. The order from left to right is 10, 50, blank, 30, 20. I think 20 and 30 might be
So
flopped.
was he supposed to be 40, and then they just only had a blank one on the day?
Yes.
I thought he was going to be the quarterback.
He kind of is.
Because like, they said, oh, Rhino's going to be the quarterback, right? But they say things and then do the opposite all the time. So I was like, maybe he's going to be the quarterback. But then he just got in there. They did like a tackle grab thing.
They all run at each other. And the Rangers go take the low road, so their shoulders are in the chest of all the putties.
Yes, they should have Northern Light suplex.
They should have just flipped them all over.
Chikara does do like a 10-man suplex. If there's like 5-on-5 matches, I've seen
really?
it. I think it was at National Pro Wrestling Day. It was real cool, but you worry about that ring. I thought they were just gonna like,
yeah.
Then they'd have to wrestle.
They wouldn't have to jump because the ring would
bounce
them back
up. The Rangers lose the first little tackle grab thing. scrimmage. I'm going to call it a scrimmage. They lose the first little scrimmage. I don't know what a scrimmage is.
The line of scrimmage is the line you need to cross to get a first down.
Okay, Leighton has tried explaining downs to me like a million times.
Okay.
It still makes no sense. I understand it, but I don't know how they came to this conclusion being the best way to play football.
How they got there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
you got to get the ball past the line enough times.
If you don't pass that line in 4 turns, then it's not your turn
It's
anymore.
not your turn anymore. This is some nerdy crap. Football is like D&D, but for
beefcakes.
For beef dude, yeah. For people who want a lot of dude time.
Sexy pillow fights with their friends.
So the putties brandish their knife hands, which I'm not up to date on football. I don't know what the rules are, but I'm pretty sure knife hands are not allowed.
No. I can't imagine.
They're not even allowed to
scenario.
grab each other a little bit. So
No, if you get a handful of shirt,
you are thrown out of football for life.
That's a penalty.
You have to go play tennis or something.
You know it's bad when football fans, right? Because I hear them at work all the time.
Right.
They're like, that was a good game. They just let them play.
Right. Shouldn't
that
they always?
Doesn't happen enough.
Right?
If that's a qualifier for a good game.
For a good game, yeah. That's like in NASCAR, which I'm also not a fan of, but I grew up in a NASCAR family. They got to the point where they were like, if you brush up against somebody, it's a penalty or whatever. And like now they will literally just let them fight. Just race. We want your blood.
Yeah, their ratings probably started going down when racing got real boring.
Yeah, I mean, because look, you can only turn left so many times.
Yeah.
Whoever turned left the best wins. Turn lefts?
Turns left.
Turns left the best wins. Rhino Blaster has this attack where he has stank breath. You guys remember stank breath from last?
This is, I think this is toxic breath, though, because it sends them to another dimension.
Yes. It's toxic tornado stank breath. Because it shoots them into a tornado, and that sends them to according to Zordon, multi-dimensional vortex. So they're in
that tracks.
They're in several dimensions. They're at the nexus.
They're in the overlap.
They're at the vertices of
where all the dimensions
vertex together.
Converge in a vortex.
Yeah, sure. They're at the dark tower, but if it was just like a lot of fog.
And one stone slab for them to stand on.
This is when you said they should have just fought them regular style instead of doing a football match. If they would have went in instead of trying to football at him, would have just like kicked him in the face.
Zach just runs in with his axe.
Right, just chopped him apart. Maybe they wouldn't be in a vortex right now.
But they didn't, they are.
So then we cut to the juice bar. Tommy's on a stationary bike, like a goober. Like, so happy with himself that he's, like, getting football by being on the stationary bike. Ernie gets called away for some reason. I don't know.
Somebody off screen, I laughed, like, pretty good. It was a good belly chuckle. Because they're just like, it's a weird voice. Somebody making a voice.
Right.
So they're like, hey, Ernie, woohoo. And Ernie's like, you go over there. I got to go over here. And
why don't you go let Zordon call you? I mean, I'm good. Never forget
the guy who's going, woohoo, I got to go.
You woohooed at me. You know the rules about woohooing at my place. So Zordon calls Tommy, teleports Tommy to the command center, and then exclusively calls him Green Ranger for the rest of the scene. Somewhere between teleporting him in and him being teleported there, Zordan took over. Because he's like, Green Ranger, your powers are limited, Green Ranger. I got your briefcase, Green Ranger. I got your undies, Green Undies. Why? Why does he call him Green Ranger? Only Goldar and Rita called them Green Ranger. Only the monsters called them Color Ranger. This is Zordan. This has to be Zordan.
It has to be.
And if it would have been once, it would have been like, oh, someone slipped up. It's fine. But it was every time he said, instead of saying Tommy, he just said Green Ranger. It was a little suspect. And he's like, you have limited powers. You probably won't be able to beat him.
But you gotta go
But you gotta
anyway.
go try. Alpha's gonna run a scan on how to get the Rangers back. So he goes.
And he just starts kicking and punching them.
Yeah, because, again, he can't stop karateing for like 1 second. So he just goes in, House of Fire, kicks Rhino Blaster in the chest once, and then they're like, nope, not going to happen. Rita makes him grow. So then he calls Dragon Zord.
He kicked him one time. He didn't even fall down. He just staggered back a second.
Back, and Rita was like, I don't think so. Unacceptable.
Unacceptable!
So then he does the command to fight, but it's a new command. It might be the same new command, and I just don't remember it every time because I only remember the actual command. But this was like softer, like it's like an R&B, like a Kenny G if he played it. Because the flute sound is actually a trumpet of some sort. It's not a flute.
Kenny G plays clarinet.
How the heck am I supposed to know what Kenny G plays?
Maybe some off-brand kind of saxophone. Maybe an actual saxophone, too. He's very into woodwinds.
Is that a woodwind or is that brass?
Saxophones are brass. Clarinet is a woodwind.
Yes. And so is a flute.
Yes.
Yes? I don't know. I can play the bass guitar.
What's that?
Sort
Mouthpiece?
of. A reed.
Yeah, there's no reed on a flute.
Then it's a brass.
But it's not made of brass.
It's a tin. I'm putting my foot down. It's a brass. It goes in the brass section.
I accept your terms.
Tommy, I don't know what happens. They're sort of, I guess they're playing football. The Dragon Zord and Rhino Blaster.
They're just like running into each other.
And then Rhino Blaster starts punching him. And Tommy's
Rhino Blaster headbutts him in the chest.
And then just starts like punching him.
And then they just start fighting.
And then
they're not playing football because Dragon Zord is just throwing his tail around.
Right, yeah, that's how he starts.
They're just fighting.
Right.
And Rhino Blaster kind of fights like he's playing football.
Right. Because this is a football episode. Tommy's like, flag on the play, 15-yard penalty. What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
Well, he's getting his butt kicked and he's trying to get the guy to back off. It's not going to work.
He's a monster. It's not going to work.
Maybe he has to follow the rules of football, though.
Because he has honor. He has football honor.
No, he doesn't. He keeps beating up Dragon Zord.
Right. At this point, Alpha's scan determined that he needs to chuck the Dragon Dagger into the vortex to get it to the Rangers so the Rangers can get out using the Dragon Dagger. If they don't get it, though, if it just goes into the vortex, it will be destroyed forever.
It won't be destroyed.
He will lose his power.
But it will. The Dragon Dagger will be lost in the void.
Right.
In the vortex.
The vortex.
The vortex, Kev.
God.
And if the Rangers can't reach it, then there's no way for them to get out. So both are lost. I think is what they're implying.
Right. This is a very convoluted way to save the Power Rangers, but he tricks him into summoning the vortex by being like,
basically he gives up. He's like, "Oh, you win. We can't be you.
Can I see my friends one last time?
Yeah, don't kill me. Send me to my friends."
And he's like,
the monster should have been
"No."
like, "Nah," and just stomped him.
Right, just while your head's down. So he throws it in the vortex. Throws the Dragon Dagger in the vortex.
Right on target.
Yeah,
Because he says it. He's like, "Yeah, right on target. Maybe I can do this."
that gave him the confidence to football later by throwing a dagger overhand, like you throw a dagger, like
Right,
not spiraling it,
Yeah.
or football style throwing it. Then Tommy jumps into Dragon Zord and pilots him for the first time ever that I can recall. Like he's actually in a cockpit piloting.
I think he may have done it once before. It makes sense that he's doing it now, though, because he doesn't have a dagger.
He can't command him with the dagger. I think this is really cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's really bad at it because he never practices, so he gets thrown down in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, because he jumps in, he's like, "Now the home team's gonna take back the field," and then just gets stomped into the dirt.
Yeah, and then so he's like, "Zordon, help!"
As he's falling, he's like, "Zordon, I'm going down!" Ah!
So then the Megazord Deus Ex Machina's its way out of the vortex. How did the Zords get in the vortex?
No sense. They didn't.
Why? What did the Dragon's dagger? The Dragon's dagger.
The dagger of the dragon.
Dagger de la Dragon. What did that do to get them out? That's question number 2.
They don't show that. The dagger goes in. Tommy gets beat up.
Jason catches it.
And then he says, guys, help. And they just come out in the Megazord. I
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. But anyway, there's also a million more puns. There's so many puns that it started hurting a little bit. Like
I didn't even notice. Because that's the kind of person that I am.
It was a hurricane of puns. They put the dragon hoodie on, the Megazord, and they do that Z blast. The Z for Zordon, not
Z for Zordon.
Not Zyuranger. Definitely not Zyuranger. And it blows him up. It blows up Rhino Blaster.
Cut to Rita, I think, right?
Yeah.
Who's all mad, but she's like got her foot up on her globe. She's like, oh man,
I have a headache.
I have a headache.
She has a tumor. We've talked about this, right? She has to have a tumor.
Yeah.
If she gets a headache like this every day, that's
maybe she's just prone to migraines. Migraines are like a serious condition that like people just get them all the time.
I know, that sucks. I get them occasionally because like when I
don't know if I ever get migraine. I get headaches.
When I get a good migraine, like,
but never anything that's debilitating.
I get those not very often, thank God, but like my favorite one is like a specific point where the migraine hits that my right eye just pours water. It just will not stop leaking, and it is terrible.
I did have a headache sometime last week that was like, it felt like the shape of a raccoon mask around my eyes to the back of my head.
Ugh.
I took 3 ibuprofen
that
for that
sounds
sucker.
Terrible. So we go back down to the juice bar. This is later. This is like a week later. This is after tryouts. Okay.
Yeah.
Because Kaplan is gonna say who won, who won to be on the team, who won tryouts,
Who won the tryouts.
But he drops a page. Okay, and you can very clearly read what it says. But to keep the suspense alive,
I have 2 problems with this that we'll talk about.
To keep the suspense alive, we're not going to say what is on the dropped page until he picks the page up. Spoilers. He remembers about the page. So he goes, here is your team. Jason, Billy, Zach, Bob, Matthew, Ryan, Michael, Thomas, and Paul.
Thomas.
And Paul.
I like how the first one that's not a ranger is Bob.
Bob. Someone who they have never said the name Bob on the show before. So you know it's literally nobody.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, Billy made the team, which makes sense because now he's super athletic all of a sudden.
He's super athletic and he gets math. So, like, he'll be really good at... He doesn't know the rules of football, though, because he just grabbed it and threw it, whatever.
Right.
So,
but he's not... We don't know their position. We only know one position, and we're finding out in a second.
These guys must immediately just say, hey, thanks, glad we made the team. Gotta quit, though. Right? Because they never play
the Rangers?
football.
Yeah,
this never comes up again.
Well, I got a theory about it, and we'll get to that in a second. So, someone's like, hey, you dropped this page. I think it might have been Zach.
It's Zach.
And
Here's my problem, first of all.
Okay.
It's 2 pages.
Yep.
Okay. Kaplan wrote them.
Right.
But when he gets to the end of that first page, he goes, that was everybody.
That was it. That's only 9 people. You can't have a football team with only 9 people. I don't know what all the positions are, but I know there's 11.
There's 11 people.
So he goes, oh, this is a pleasant surprise after he picks up the sheet.
This is good. Now we can have a team. Thank goodness.
Yeah. Bulk. And then Bulk comes out, still in a tutu, but also in the jersey. They're all wearing jerseys and shoulder pads, by the way. So that's my shoes. So I don't know why he's still in the ballet outfit several days later.
He likes it. He does it all the time.
He likes it. Good for him. And there's like a weird suspense moment where Kimberly's like, oh no.
Well, that's before he picks up the second page.
Okay, right.
Because when he calls for Bulk, Kimberly goes, woo, Bulk! And is like excited and happy for him.
Why?
For like a second.
Then she goes, oh right, you're a giant dirtbag. You're not Skull either, so why do I care about you? And then Tommy is called, and Tommy is the quarterback. On the sheet, it very clearly said quarterback, is Tommy.
Yes.
Not.
It also said bulk above that.
Yeah.
But it didn't. I don't remember what else.
I don't know
said.
if there was more. It didn't just say bulk. It said bulk as a ballerina man. You got your fullback, your halfback, your wide receiver, your ballerina, your quarterback,
your narrow receiver,
your obtuse and acute receivers. That's a geometry joke. Ernie's proud of Tommy. I like that Ernie is proud of Tommy because Ernie is the only father figure I can think of for Tommy other than Zordon, which Zordon might be Tommy's dad. That's my weird, definitely not real.
Zordon Oliver.
Zordon Oliver. You can't even say that. I can't anyway, so it can't be true. But yeah, I thought that was a really nice moment because he's like, "I'm proud of you, Tommy. You earned it."
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't kick anybody in the throat during practice. Okay,
you didn't just karate the entire team to death.
Here's my theory. Oh, all right. What was Kimberly wearing part 2? Okay. Pink shirt, a dress under the pink shirt, and then her leather boots. Like she has like I don't know if it's long sleeve or short sleeve, but it's on over the dress. Or her skirt just looks like a dress.
It could be.
I don't know.
I don't really
She's got her
remember.
leather boots on. There's only like 2 shots of it, so it's, that's why I had to pause at the end because I didn't see all of it. Here's my theory, right? Because you're like, they have to quit right afterwards.
Yeah.
Here's my theory. The next episode airs like 5 days later or maybe like a week later. So in that time, they missed every practice because of monsters that we didn't see and were kicked from the team.
Why are these same 5 kids who always wear the same color not at football practice
when there's
while
monsters?
The Power Rangers are fighting a monster?
That's a weird coincidence. They must be hooligans. Delinquents. And that's it. That's the episode. I'm sure we end on Bulk gripping his pants or falling down.
We end on them
on Tommy's
just congratulating
gigantic
Tommy.
His
shoulder pads are so big.
This is literally the only image I remembered from the episode is giant shoulder pads, Tommy.
Jason has regular shoulder pads on.
Literally the whole team does. Even Bulk does. And Bulk's like a bigger dude. You think his shoulder pads would be bigger. Nah, regular size shoulder pads. Tommy's are enormous.
They're huge.
They're huge.
I don't get it. I don't know why. Maybe
because he's the quarterback.
Maybe quarterbacks wear bigger pads because they're bigger sissies? I don't know.
I don't know what the rules are on quarterbacks. Don't touch them. They're precious little angels. Brady. Don't touch Brady.
You can touch the other ones, but not that one.
Not Brady. So that's the episode. Any final thoughts?
Nah.
This was a stinker. This is a stinker episode. Nope, I got nothing. morphingrid.tumblr.com is our website. You can email us at littleidiots.morphingrid@gmail.com. We're on Twitter at morphingrid. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/themorphingrid. And we're on iTunes. If you want to leave us a rating and review, that would be really appreciated. I don't need to say it this fast, but I want to get out of here as soon as we can. Thank you for listening. This is the second to last week. There's only 2 more episodes of season 1 of the Morphin Grid.
Yeah,
of Power Rangers.
Hype.
So the next one is Mighty Morphin Mutants, which I remember pretty clearly. If it's the one I'm thinking of,
it might. Did we already watch the one where they turn putties into Power Rangers with black boots?
No.
That might be the.
We saw the.
That's
one...
the one I'm. thinking
yes,
of.
that's the Power Rangers Gone Bad. Power Rangers behaving badly. Yes.
Then I don't know what this one is.
This one I remember. For like 2 specific reasons.
They try Bad Rangers so long and they don't get it right for
5
more seasons.
Yeah. then it clicks and it's the best. Psycho Rangers are the best.
Yeah.
I wish the whole season.
Like just they were the bad guys.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Andromeda. She is my favorite villain.
Astronema.
I meant to say Astronema. I said Andromeda. I can't tell you why. I love Astronema. I love everything about her arc, her look, everything. I would be fine with Psycho Rangers being the villains the whole time.
Yeah.
Whoever's making the Sentais.
It's 5 seasons in, right?
Yeah.
So, like...
You know the deal with Power Rangers?
That's fine.
Yeah. You know the tropes. You know, like, evil Power Rangers are a thing that never really happened, but then like, oh, now they're the problem. We've never had to deal with full-scale evil Rangers who look so cool. And then are monsters when they get big. Yeah,
I don't know what this next one is then.
I do. I'm pretty sure I do. I could be wrong because there's a couple, but I'm pretty sure I know what it is. And the last one is an oyster stew, which is just a regular episode.
With the oysterizer.
But that's the finale.
It's a very suggestive monster.
Yes. So then we're going to have a month off. There will still be bonus episodes. You'll still get some Morphin Grid content. There'll just be little Frankensteins and like a couple
little like blooper reels or just us talking about anything else, which we do a lot.
Which we do, a lot of cut stuff, a lot of bloopers and outtakes and stuff. And then we have at least 3 new content episodes.
That's fine.
That's
Still
how
works.
That's how we're gonna do it. And then we'll have season 2, which might be bigger and better, might be exactly the same.
That's why we're taking time off. Figure that out.
So we're gonna figure it out. Just stick with us. There's some cool stuff coming up. Lord Zed, you guys need to...
He's cool for a while, and he gets real dumb.
Yeah, because mothers complained about how scary he was. Not my mom.
No, mine neither.
Yeah, because they were like, oh, it's a character on television. My child can handle it.
Like, he's definitely creepy.
He's terrifying. On those first episodes where he is mean, he's like a real proper villain, but like... They made him goofy after a while. They just dumbed him down, goofyized him. But we'll talk about it as it happens.
That's right.
In a couple months, we'll see you Monday with Mighty Morphin Mutants. But until then, may the power protect you.
No, I know. I'm waiting for you to stop fidgeting and talking.
You get one or the other. No, both are never going to happen.